Now this, Biden says that world leaders are telling him that he cannot let Trump win in November. Former State Department official Christian Whiton joins me now. Christian, are world leaders scared of another Trump presidency? I would have thought they would be very concerned of another 4 years of Biden.
Yeah, I think it depends on who you ask. I kind of doubt they're saying anything that candidly to President Biden. The Chinese, for example, definitely do not want Donald Trump to be president. He's promised to enact 60% tariffs on goods, on everything we import from China. They don't want him in. Russia, mixed bag. You know, Trump was the first one to export lethal arms to Ukraine as opposed to just sending humanitarian aid. He's promised to end the war, so he's going to push Ukraine presumably toward negotiations. But again, there's sort of that toughness there. Asian leaders, the Japanese, the Singaporeans, the Taiwanese, I think they see Trump as stronger. So again, maybe some Europeans are upset because they think Donald Trump is uncouth, but you could argue that even Trump strengthened NATO by making them spend at least a little more toward what they promised to spend.
You know, Christian, you put your finger on it. Europeans think that Trump is uncouth. He's a low-class guy. They don't like him for that reason. He's the guy, Trump is the guy who actually helped NATO. He got the Europeans to start paying for their own defense. It's just being uncouth. They just can't stand it. I'm a reformed European. I know exactly what's going on in their minds. Go ahead, fill me in.
Right. Well, I think you're right. And Europe is the very left point right now. If you look at Germany, left-wing government, France, Labour looks like they're coming in the UK. So these are people who are sort of the polar opposite of the spectrum politically from Trump. And yeah, they just don't like the ideas. It's also very inconvenient that he comes in and cuts taxes and regulations and caused 3 fat years of economic growth before COVID, because that really calls into question their more, socialist leaning policies.
Exactly. We're on the same page, Christian, believe me. Biden called a lid on activity 15 minutes after arriving in his hotel in Paris today. The Wall Street Journal's got this damaging story about his cognitive decline. How does this look on the world stage? How does Biden look on the world stage now?
Yeah, this reminds me of Don Rumsfeld used to say to reporters who didn't work for him, hey, you're doing a great job. Take the rest of the day off. It doesn't look good. You mentioned earlier in the broadcast a Time magazine interview. That interview combined with this damning journal report, and it's worth looking and reading through that Time interview of the president. He is just out of sorts. He is not focused at all. This is someone who clearly is just not mentally there, not strong. And this is reinforced, of course, by his early nap time today. So, the idea that we could go another 4 years with this president and that he would be in charge as opposed to this unaccountable and highly ideological White House staff who really is in charge. I think that's what's going on, and that's what people see plainly.
Biden's going to meet with Zelensky from Ukraine at some point. I believe that's probably tomorrow. That could be an awkward meeting, couldn't it?
It could be. I mean, President Biden has delivered significant, massive aid to Ukraine. Zelensky always will push for a little bit more. He wants the ability to use European arms and American arms deeper into Russia. So who knows what will come from that. Zelensky really can't be allowed to be seen at sorts with Biden because Biden is his strongest, most significant ally.
Okay, got it. Christian, we'll be waiting for that meeting and all else that happens in France. Christian Whiton, thanks for joining us. See you again soon.